one of the things that's happening, of course it's all over here, is the new generation of television, 4K. Now we're into HDR. We've got the second generations of TV sets coming out with HDR. Basically, we have everything the market needs except content. So there's a lot of new security that is required coming into this new era. How are you guys addressing that?
Well, we follow that trend. With this new content, of course, the quality is so good that the temptation for piracy is even bigger. And therefore, the studio, the content owners are even more careful before they grant the right to distribute those type of content. So what they did is they issued a new standard, which is called the Movie Lab standard, which specifies what security is required for 4K type of content or early window type of content, which are the content that are released in theater a few weeks ago. And that's what we went ahead. We designed a product that we call Content Protection Client for Premium HD, and that content implements the features that are needed for those type of areas. So it's mostly about watermarking functionality.
So you have a watermarking solution?
We have a watermarking solution as part of that, and we have a second thing, which is a provisioning capability that allows to deliver the hardware root of trust capability that's also mandated by the studios, especially for 4K content.
Yeah. So that's very interesting, the hardware side of this thing and the way they've got it linked end to end and decoupling the hardware processing for the security from the CPU. It's a big challenge. So you're talking about helping out with that?
Definitely, that's what we're doing with this new product.
And that's all done in software?
That's all done in software. That's the beauty of it.
So you're able to divide up the assignments of the hardware that's already in the devices?
Yes, and the studios are fine with this solution for some of the contents. For the highest category of it, they'll still mandate hardware security, but some, like the early window content, they're happy with our full software solution.
Well, that's a relief to hear. So I gather you've been talking to them about your solution.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what else are you doing? I mean, this piracy thing, there's a lot of things that go on with just because of the quality of the screens, capturing stuff off screens. That's why we have watermarking. Mm-hmm. Still, it takes a while for that to be discovered. Mm-hmm. Are you doing anything to step up that process to where we know when somebody is stealing something?
Yeah, another good functionality that we are implementing is in fact technology to detect screen recording. As I said, the quality of the content that are displayed on the phone or on tablet or even on the PC is so good today that if you would stand there, record that content with a camera, it's really good content that you can put on the web. Yeah. And therefore what we're doing is we are implementing technologies that are capable of detecting whether the content is being sniffed on the device and will stop the playback. That's what we call the screen recording capability.
How does that work? I mean, do you have to add a whole bunch of stuff in terms of, or is all this coming through on the stream?
It's about our knowledge of the platforms and the way they operate, and also how the screen recording applications work. So all I can say to simplify the picture is that we know that those software operate at the frame buffer level, and therefore we implemented the technology that detects when a frame buffer is being attacked, and we stop that.
Oh my goodness, that's a breakthrough, I gotta say. And I would say that moves the whole watermarking thing forward, because again, watermarking is a nice thing to have if you have the whole ecosystem all lined up and everybody ready to send out the police to get whoever's doing this and shut them down on the CDNs and all those things that have to be coordinated. Mm-hmm. But in live and sports, and this stuff is getting stolen instantly, it's a big challenge. So to be able to pick up that it's being illicitly recorded off the shoot, that's a big step forward. Yeah,
it's definitely a feature that gets some good traction from our customers when we talk about it.
So is there anything else in this vein that you're introducing? And not that that's not enough.
Yes, we are also introducing a new category of content that we're addressing, which is the ad-sponsored content. The content that is distributed for free, but there are ads in it. And as you know, the ads are cumbersome for a user. They don't like them. So they tend to install software that will stop the display of the ad, and which breaks the business model of the service provider. So what we went ahead is we're designing a product that is capable of detecting when there's an ad blocker installed on the device and advise the user to uninstall it in order to allow the service providers to make some money out of what they do.
That's a fairly remarkable thing in and of itself if you can get into stopping. But here we're talking about not in-stream ads, we're talking about ads that are part of outside the stream.
We're talking about in-stream ads.
In-stream ads.
We're talking about video ads. Yeah.
But
whether it's pre-roll, mid-roll, or post-roll.
But it's not anti-skipping. I mean, you can.
It's not anti-skipping.
Yeah. But it's definitely blocking a blocker.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
It's blocking a blocker. It's also helping the service provider recouping their money. Because what we realized by investigating this problem is that sometimes an ad blocker would even not detect the ad itself, but it will block the reporting of the information that the ad has been displayed. And therefore the service provider is losing money. He did the job, but that information is not reported to the marketeer, and therefore the marketeer doesn't pay him. So that's also one of our focus, making sure that whenever an ad is displayed, the information is conveyed properly to the ad server, and then everybody, the right people get paid.
Wow, really interesting stuff.